Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Rockstar Flipper YouTube channel, live Thursday night show. Thank you so much for joining, as always. Appreciate everyone being here. A couple minutes late, as usual. Wouldn't be on par if it wasn't. The stream works how it wants. So you guys may have just seen that I changed the live show because a whole lot of people had a whole lot of questions about Amazon. And so I want to go over a little bit of the basics of Amazon. I want to talk about it. I want to make sure that everyone that is scared of Amazon is not scared of Amazon after this show, and perhaps will take the jump, take the leap into selling. Man, it's the biggest e-commerce platform in the entire world, so why not, right? Let's get into it. I'll say a quick hello to everyone. My admin in the house, Adam, and a couple others, Megan, Mowini, and Justin, all in here joining Adam. So thank you guys for being admins. I also see Trey from Dallas here. A couple quick hellos. So thanks guys for being here, and thanks for the admins. If you have questions, concerns, certainly put it in the chat. So don't do it. Amazon is dangerous. It is. Kelly, eBay Stock Queen, how you doing? How was everybody's week? I want to start off with that. And as far as Amazon goes, quick little in the chat. How many people currently sell on Amazon, have sold on Amazon in the past? Maybe you don't sell anymore. Maybe you just started. And how many don't at all sell on Amazon? Just completely not at all selling on Amazon. Just want to get a feel for kind of the percentage. Do we have like 20%, 30%, 50% of people selling on Amazon? So I'll give you a little backstory on me and my Amazon history. I started on Amazon in 2014, the end of 2014, just a couple little dabbling items. This is long before things were gated. I started listing more around like spring, summer 2015. And that's when I figured out that, something I love, which is video games. I don't get to video game much at all, if any, but I love video games. They sold super good on eBay. I was selling on eBay and I was like, man, the prices are way higher on Amazon. And so that's how I got started on it. Looks like I got a little bit of, Amazon has a new tax on service. Randy, yes, remind me to point that out later. A little here and there, never even bought on Amazon. Stephanie living in 2010. Selling FBA, Skits Emporium has been on there for 10 years, dropped by Duty, sell on Amazon, but not FBA. So a couple of you guys are selling on Amazon, but you have not done FBA, which is common. A lot of people stick to FBM. We'll go over what all that is in just a minute. Thrifting Goomba signed up today, so congratulations. And Edith Jones just sent in her first shipment. Trade Federation, thank you for picking up that lighting kit. Yeah, guys, if you ever need any equipment, lighting kit, scales, envelopes, any kind of supplies, they're, as always, linked down below. Alexa doesn't want to be on Amazon. Maybe I can change your mind tonight. We'll see. Stephanie and Paul had a huge month. Of course, Paul had a huge month last month. He had a couple of cool RA sales. So, all right, so let's talk a little bit about Amazon, what it is, how it works, why it's better, why it's not better, the ins and outs, the downs, lefts and rights, all about Amazon, A to Z Q&A, the whole deal. So those of you that don't know, Amazon is a platform that allows you to sell your merchandise FBM or FBA, and they stand for Fulfilled by Merchant or Fulfilled by Amazon. And Fulfilled by Merchant is exactly the same as eBay. If you buy this charger and you find it at a thrift store for $1 and it's worth $20 on Amazon, you can buy this charger, bring it home, new and used, okay? They allow used. And you can photograph this charger, and then you can go make a listing on Amazon and put your charger up for sale. And if it sells, you will print a label out, just like you would on eBay. You'd choose USPS, first class, 6 ounces, etc., etc. And so that's how FBM works. It's exactly the same. There's a fee. Amazon's fees for selling run between 8% and 15% for almost all categories. There are a few exceptions. Paul DeLeo may know off the top of his head a couple 5%ers and a couple over 15%, right? 18, 20. But for the most part, remember, eBay fees are 10%, so Amazon's run between 8 and 15. So they're slightly higher on some and slightly lower on some. Now, the fee to pay Amazon to sell every month is $40 a month for a pro account. They are free as a personal, but you will pay $1 per item. So obviously, if you get 40 items, you would outrun that fee. So that's the basics of selling on on Amazon. My camera is shaking. Give me just a second. I know why it's shaking. Give me just like 1 second. Half a second. I have a little stand that I put it on normally, which will be better. There we go. That should fix it. No more shaky. Okay, so $40 a month, which is equivalent to the middle of a basic and a premium account on eBay. If you're going to get into selling numbers, like comparing it to eBay in that matter. The other thing is the selling percentages are a little higher. Now, to offset that, typically Amazon prices that you get are higher. So if you're selling this for 15 on eBay, you're going to get 20 on Amazon, or 19 or 18. So that extra couple of dollars, and sometimes it's a lot of extra dollars, will way offset any extra in fees. The cost of having an Amazon store is comparable to an eBay store. So, and the $40 a month is unlimited. Now, if your item is not on Amazon, it's like a private label or something that doesn't appear, you can certainly add it. We'll talk about that in a minute. So that's the basics of getting on. Now, if you decide to do FBA, which is shipping to Amazon. So basically you would buy this charger, you would bring it home, you would pre-package it. So let's say you had like a little tiny, padded envelope, and you'd stick it inside of that padded envelope, and then you would print out on Amazon. They're called ASINs, ASIN. It's like a unique barcode that identifies it in Amazon's system. So when you bring this up in search, it'll have that little unique identifier. You'll print that out onto a little 1 inch by 5 inch or 3 inch or whatever barcode, like little sticky barcode. You'll have to buy those and you'll print them out. And so once this is in the envelope, you would stick that barcode onto the envelope, like a scannable barcode. You just stick it on there. And so then you would say, okay, I want to send this to Amazon. And so you tell Amazon, I have 1 of these, or I have 20 of these. And if you have 20 of them, you'll pack all 20 up, just like they're going to a customer. And then you throw them into a box, and then you tell Amazon, you give them the weight of the box and the dimensions, and Amazon gives you a label to stick on it, and you ship that box into Amazon. Then they get it, and they pull all 20 of your chargers out of your envelopes. They leave them in the envelopes, they pull them out of the box, and then they scan all 20 of them so that they know they received 20, and then they stick them on the shelves. And then when one of them sells, they'll scan it out, they'll slap a label on it, and they'll ship it to your customer. So you don't have to store it, you don't have to ship it, you don't have to do nothing. You just pile them all in a box, put them in their envelopes, seal them up, put the label on so they can identify what's in the envelope, send them into Amazon. That's how it works. That's all FBA is. Now, there's a fee for that. Obviously, Amazon's charging you to do what they call pick and pack, storing it, grabbing it, putting it in, and sending it out. The second fee is your cost to actually ship that box in. Now, normally, if you and I shipped a box of 20 of these, it might cost us, $10 to mail this box from Florida to Texas. You box that up and mail it to Amazon, it might cost you $4 because they get a really deep discount. So shipping it in is pretty cheap. We always recommend that you don't try to send in 1 charger, 2 chargers. You try to get a whole bunch of chargers. Or maybe you get 1 charger and 1 phone and 1 microphone and 1 cup, and you send all of those inside of a box. Whatever you're doing, the more you can send in, the better typically. If items are really big and heavy, like a big stereo system, it might be best just to FBM that and keep that back at your location. Okay, so that's FBA. That's how it works. The third charge you may have heard of is storage fees. That's for it staying in Amazon's warehouse. It's charged by the cubic foot. The longer stuff stays, the more expensive it gets. Over 6 and 12 months can get to be more expensive. For me, the average video game, just to give you an idea, was pennies. A penny a month, 2 pennies. So that's what it costs to store it. Okay, so yes, you do seal the envelope. The reason that you seal the envelope, they can check that the product's inside. The reason that they don't check that you actually put the real charger in there is because when it arrives to the customer, if the customer gets the wrong item, they're just going to open a return and send it right back. So what happens is, the packages, you have to pretend like when you send them to Amazon, they would be exactly like you would send them to the customer minus the shipping label. So they're going to be laying in an envelope and they're going to go in that box. The only thing that's going to be on it that's different than what you normally would do is that identifier, that little barcode identifier that Amazon can scan it into the system. That's how they scan it in, and that's how they scan it out. It's how they identify it. It's the whole shebang. The only thing that Amazon's going to do with that when it sells is pull it off the shelf, scan it to say one sold, out of inventory, and then slap that shipping label on and out the door. So those are the differences. Now, new and used and what you can sell on Amazon. Okay, so yeah, they'll catch you an open vendor fraud against you. Yeah, Canasaur TV is right. They can definitely catch it if you ship. Yeah, Kelly, we'll see you later. Do you have to inventory for taxes? Like have a description of every single item and its price? Beauty, junk, and stuff. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Yeah, so if you go around trying to scam Amazon or their buyers, and you're claiming that you put $100 special cable in there, and all you did was just shove a little 25-cent cable in there. When customers start getting those products, then they're going to start reporting you to Amazon. And if you made an honest mistake and put the wrong thing in something, it happens once, you get a return. Yeah, it is. But if you're trying to scam them and people keep opening the wrong ones over and over again and reporting you, you can bet that your account's going to get booted with a quickness, and they will shut you down for vendor fraud and potentially come after you. So don't try to do that. I remember a guy about 2-3 years ago in the video game sector was doing that. He was claiming to have, vintage, retro, $150 video games, and he was sticking sports games into like 1,000 FBA Amazon packages, sent them all in, made a bunch of money, got his deposit, and then bang, return after return after return. I heard the story. So it does happen, but it's rare. Okay. So I work at an FC, by the way, Casey. If you have any questions or you aren't sure as far as FBA operations go on the inside, that would be awesome. Please email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. Don't do the commingled stickerless option. Yeah, Paul, we'll talk about that in a minute too. Okay, so what you can sell. A lot of people think that Amazon is only brand new. If you've never shopped on Amazon, I can understand. But if you've shopped on Amazon, you've probably seen items that you shop for regularly used. Almost everything can be sold used. There are a lot of exceptions, but clothing, shoes, things like that are typically more new only. But like video games, CDs, media, books, they're all used. I mean, there's plenty of brand new ones, but mostly those are used. Now, the thing that scares people a lot, I think, is gating and ungating. That just means that's the process of Amazon restricting or blocking you from selling certain products versus other products. So let me give you guys a perfect example. I have a video game here and a video game here. This one I'm allowed to sell and this one I'm not allowed to sell. Let's say this is NBA 2K15 and this is Pokemon Ruby. Pokemon is a very heavily faked video game. The little tiny cartridges were well heavily faked because they were so expensive, $30, $40, $50 on the secondary market, and people were producing them in China for 50 cents and just blowing the market up. So at some point, Amazon got wind of all these fakes. They were having a lot of reports, and they just said, bang, no more Pokemon Ruby cartridges. There's different titles. I'm just picking one. But they were like, nobody else can sell those. Done. Bang. Restricted, gated, and there was no ungating. There was no undoing. You could no longer sell that game. So anytime I came across that game, I would just list it on eBay. Now, with that being said, sometimes the video game producers just don't want people reselling their products, so they'll ban it. If Amazon gets a report or has an issue, they can stop you from selling anything. There are a lot of categories that are naturally gated, like food, makeup, beverage, things that you can eat, put inside of your body, put on your body, are heavily gated. And the reason is Amazon doesn't want some new guy who's from China or some scammer to come on and start selling tainted makeup and sell 1,000 pieces of makeup and 1,000 girls get it, and all of a sudden they're putting it on and their skin's blowing up, and then Amazon's got a huge problem. So before they will ungate you for categories, and some of them are not ungateable. There are some categories that are like acts of God to get ungated for, or they just don't do it. But a lot of categories you can get ungated for. They require you to get an invoice from the manufacturer or licensed distributor. It cannot be from Walmart. It cannot be from Goodwill. It cannot be from your buddy down the street that owns a pallet company. It must be up here at the company level. And so that makes it really hard to get ungated in a lot of stuff. I've seen some people with loopholes get around that using, Goodwill receipts. Some of the ungating is auto done. I've seen people in this chat, I will leave them nameless, get ungated for things that they had no business getting ungated for. So it is kind of hit or miss. Right. So, what a dummy, thousands of video games. Yeah. Yeah. Amazon has metrics just like eBay, 1% defect rate, which would be like, A to Z claims. So Amazon's item not as described case, escalation is called an A to Z claim. Customers file A to Z if they have any issues or they want to return something. Hopefully they don't file an A to Z. They just ask for a return. But if they file an A to Z, it's bad. It counts against your metrics. So Trisha, thanks for the subscription. So you don't need a dymo to get your stuff to FBA, but it certainly can't hurt to have a thermal for sure. Can I do a video on printing the ISBN labels? Donna, I have a video in my video course. So for everyone listening, and I just want to put this out, I'm trying to give you guys as much information here in this video free as possible. If you take the leap and you need extra help, I do have this put together in a complete video course. I was just charging $49 for Amazon. It was $99 for all three platforms. But if you just wanted Amazon, it's just $49, and I'll happily link it for anybody who wants it, or you can email me. But the thing about it is that there's so much information to cover, from printing labels to processing an FBA shipment. It's all in there. So, but I could definitely try to do some more videos on YouTube to cover them. I do know a couple guys down the street that own pallet companies. New with clothing with tags. So a lot of new clothing with tags are not eligible on Amazon. Certain brands you can. Topicals category. Yeah, Paul just corrected me. The topical, the makeup and topical category. Yeah, so you're going to need a way to either print the sticky labels. Most thermal printers will do it, and most laser printers. You guys can buy that paper from Walmart or Office Depot or Staples, and you can peel and stick. You know, the labels that the full sheet has like 10 or 12 of the little, 1 inch by 4 inch or 1 inch by 5 inch, whatever they are, stickies on it. So there's like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way down. There's 5 and 5 side by side. And you just run that through the printer, and you can, print all of your labels that way. You don't need a thermal. You can do it on a regular printer. It can be done. I did it on a regular printer for a long time. In fact, I still have done it on a regular printer. Laura, thank you so much for the $3.99 super chat. Thanks for the great and accurate information. You're welcome. Thank you so much. You can do retail arbitrage. So I think some people misunderstood what I said. You can absolutely sell Walmart and Target and stuff. I'm just saying that the receipts from Walmart and Target will not get you ungated to sell something. So if you go to Walmart and you buy a Thomas the Train engine toy, and I'm just throwing something out there, I don't know if it's gated or not, and that toy is gated, like Walmart or Amazon says you can't sell Thomas the Train, train thing, the receipt from Walmart is not going to convince Amazon to allow you to sell it. Now, if Thomas is ungated and you go buy Thomas from Walmart, you most certainly can list Thomas the Train and sell him all day long. But he's not going to get ungated because you have a Walmart receipt. Now, again, I'll leave people to remain nameless in this chat have used Walmart receipts and gotten ungated for items. They bought it because they could sell it on eBay, but they just randomly were just like, let me just see, since I already got it, if I can get Amazon to let me. They took a picture of the receipt. There's a little thing when something says you can't sell it. It says, click here to get approved, and you click and you fill out your information. And then it says, please upload your invoice. And they uploaded it. They zoomed in on the receipt and uploaded it. And I kid you not, a minute later they were approved. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Same exact thing. I uploaded a receipt. Bam. Not approved. Don't try again. So thank you, Alexa. I really appreciate that. Yeah, the Avery 8160 labels, 30 up labels are the ones that are you're looking for. Thank you for that. You guys know so much better than me. Yeah, the ones I used were like 12. I have ones now that are 30. We have new ones. So, Donna, shoot me an email, rockstarflipper@gmail.com, and provide me the information, and I will send it to you. If you didn't get it, I will send it on over to you. Yeah, so some of the biggest problems with selling on Amazon. What are the biggest problems? Okay, so the capital outlay. So on eBay, you can buy something, list it, sell it, and get paid today, at least through PayPal. Even with the new managed payments, it's like 1 day. Amazon has 14-day payments. So let's say that your payment's on the 1st. And on the 2nd, it resets. So it's now the 2nd of April, and you sell some items. You sell like $100 today. That $100 goes over to a balance. Now that balance automatically takes the fees out, and when you print a shipping label, automatically updates how much you spent on the label. So if you sell an item for $100 and after the fees and shipping you're left with $85, your balance is going to show $85, not 100. It's not like eBay. It's different. And so that's today, and you go to bed. And you wake up tomorrow on the 3rd, and you sell some more, and you sell some more. And so every day, the amount that you're selling keeps adding up, adding up, adding up. 14 days later, on the 16th, you've got, $3,000. Boom. Amazon sends it over to your bank account as an auto deposit. Sometime at like 5 p.m. mine goes out. And then you see that hit your bank a day or two later. Usually, so like if mine, if my deposit goes out Tuesday, which is Tuesday date, it just depends on when you start and things. But let's say it goes out at Tuesday at like 4 or 5 o'clock. It will not be in the bank Wednesday. It'll be in the bank Thursday. So I won't get it the following morning, because remember, if something goes out Tuesday, if you want the money on Wednesday, it would have had to go out early Tuesday, to hit the bank at midnight Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's never available for me the next day. It's always the following day. But that's a 14-day hold plus the extra time to hit your bank. So at least 15 and a half, 16 days every time you sell. So you have to be able to absorb that money in inventory until stuff is selling, until you're getting regular deposits. Eventually you'll get into a rhythm and you won't even notice it. You'll know when your deposits are coming, you'll budget appropriately, and you'll move on from there. So that is how that works. Bonafide mentioned me in my latest video. Bonafide Hustler in the house. Thank you, Chris. I will watch that tonight. I'll watch Bonafide Hustler. Make sure you guys check out Chris. He's my all-time, long-time buddy. Yes. eBay Open. I should have mentioned this at the outset of the video, but eBay Open did sell out today, sometime around like 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you didn't get the ticket, there's a wait list. Go to eBay Open, click the wait list, put your name on it. Don't know anything about the wait list. I'm assuming the wait list is going to be the increased price of $500, and I also assume there's going to be very, very limited wait lists, so get on it quickly. No idea how many people put their name on the wait list today. If you don't get a ticket to eBay Open, you could still technically go to eBay Open and just hang out with everyone and not go in the conference. It's definitely a possibility. Bonafide Hustler with a $1.99 super chat. Are you the Rockstar Flipper everyone talks about? I am guilty as charged. Rockstar Flipper present in the house. You guys know, listen, the person I have watched longest on all of YouTube, Chris, the Bonafide Hustler, is joining us tonight. If you guys, if anybody, one of the admins, Adam or whatever, wants to grab Chris's YouTube link for me and put it over there, definitely shoot Chris's YouTube link into the chat. Thanks for that super chat, buddy. Appreciate it. Love to see Chris in the house. I don't talk to Chris as much as I'd like to, but I will make a better time for that. Chris, come to Vegas. Come to Vegas, Bonafide. Right, so, yeah, Thomas the Train is Fisher Price and gated. I'm not surprised. I pulled that out because I'm used to that. Amazon doesn't do a hold for returns on my account. Paul, yeah, I've heard grandfathered accounts do that. Mine gets a hold. So if your account balance is 100 and somebody calls up Amazon and says, I want to return this $20 item, your balance drops down to 80. They'll show a 20, at least on mine, there's a $20 hold and 80 available. So then if your deposit sent out while that hold's present, they'll send the $80. The other 20 is just going to sit down in the bottom on hold. And then when and if the 20 comes back to you, it'll go to your balance for next time. If they send the $20 back to the customer because of a refund, then that just goes away and it is done. So that's how refunds work. Yeah. Just started binging his videos. Love it. Yeah, go check it out. There is Chris's YouTube channel. Bonafide. $3,000 to go to eBay Open. Yeah, I mean, for one person, I came up with $2,500. So I can't really, assuming that you got a ticket for $350, and then assuming you have to fly, which for us, the tickets are around $340-ish. I'll just say $350 to be safe. So that's your plane and your ticket in, and then your hotel, really, you have to stay 4 days. 5 is better. It comes to $150 after tax, tag, and title for the hotel. So 5 nights is $750. So that puts you at $1,450. You're going to need some money for Ubers, cabs, whatever. You're going to need at least $100 a day spending money, which isn't going to get you really nothing. You can barely eat in Vegas for $100 a day for one person. Eat, drink, if you gamble, if you want to see a show, really you better budget $150 or you're in big trouble. So that's another $750. So that's 2,200. I figured most people would spend a little more in entertainment gambling. I figured 25. 3,000 is really the better number, but 25 for sure. So, Eric, I'm not even going to say that. Darren, congratulations on grabbing those tickets. Mine is always held. Not really sure. I think it's different for different sellers. I don't know. Oh, Paul had dog boarding in airport. I've got a dog sitter for the Wrecking Crew. Yes. Okay, so I want to answer some questions. If you have some about Amazon that you're holding on to, please put them in the chat right now. Also, I'm going to link the Amazon course. If you guys have any interest in Amazon at all, for $49, I will teach you how to do everything we talked about, from listing to shipping to an FBA shipment, to returns, to payments, to gating, rankings, price searches, wholesale, where to buy wholesale stuff to sell on Amazon, where to get normal stuff. In addition to the training course, I'm sending you all the bolos, all the guides that I have for everything that you can sell, not just on Amazon, eBay and Posh as well, but a lot of Amazon items that you can sell, electronics. Also, remember, all Apple products are blocked on Amazon. You cannot sell iPhones, iPods, or iPads, MacBooks, minis, shuffles, nanos, classics, touches. You cannot sell them. Apple made an exclusive deal with Amazon to be the only seller of Apple products. So all of your Apple products on my bolos or anywhere else that you see were accurate as of last month. They are now currently going over to eBay. So keep that in mind. But let's see what questions people have about Amazon. I want to go, but can't leave my business that long. Yeah, it's tough. We can't leave the kids or for this year. Make sure, next year. What kind of toys are popular? Okay, so toys isn't a genre that I focus on too much. I do a little bit of books, a ton of video games, video game systems. I do electronics like GoPros and cameras and lenses. Toys that are popular. So puzzles and board games tend to do very well. Vintage board games, toys. Okay, so some of the toys, electronic toys, like electronic Skippo, little electronic handheld games, like not just the 3DSs and the Nintendos. I'm talking about like Tiger toys, the old 1990s, 1980s little handheld games, any kind of 20 questions electronic games. We live in the world of tech, and so electronics is really, really popular. The Leapfrogs do really well. I've sold a ton of Leapfrogs. Bop-Its, they're not really that expensive, but you can do okay on some of the different Bop-Its. They're a pain to ship, though. That's what caused me to stop selling those. Other toys, sometimes vintage toys, like old 80s toys, will be sold on there. Okay, so is Amazon worth it to start small, or is it better to try and jump in and grow as fast as possible? I would start small. Yes, Apple is blocked new and used, Paul. Absolutely. Do the ASIN numbers also have printed words so you get each sticker on the correct package? The ASINs, so typically the ASINs just come with that, but there is an option. There is a way. I never do it because, I don't know, I just do it the way I print it, but there is a way to get a little description on it, if that makes sense. I could show you. I think it's part of my video series. Hey, Heather, how you doing? Welcome in, Heather Reseller. No, I don't know anything about Amazon International and getting your products in, so I doubt that my videos would be of much help to anybody overseas, because it is totally different. It's completely different. The shipping is so different, it's not even funny. So I was trying to fix that light. I realized that it was a little off. It's shining right at me. My bad. You can absolutely buy used goods from yard sales, the bin store, books, a lot of used toys. It just depends on what kind of stuff you're getting, and you'll have to learn a little bit of the, what is good and what isn't good. So a lot of my used stuff, and I'll be honest with you guys, I bought a ton of pawn shop stuff. I would buy video games from pawn shops. I would buy, at the time, Apple iPods and iPads were unlocked, so I would sell those. Tablets are still good, like Samsung tablets and Dell tablets and LG tablets, because they're unlocked still, ungated for the most part. I sold those Fluke. If you guys have ever seen the electric tester meters that the electric guy, the electric company, or your internet install guy has, the little line testers that clamp around wires or test them, multimeter, positive, negative. Some of those are very expensive. The brand Fluke, Fluke. Those things are $300, $400, $500 brand new. I used to pick them up, some guy down on his luck, lost his job, quit being an electric guy, sells his, $400 Fluke to a pawn shop for $50. I'd swoop in and give the pawn shop $90 or $100, and I'd list it on Amazon for $199. $100 profit, less fees and shipping. I'd make $70 that quick. So, and they would sell fast. So there's a ton of stuff. I'd come home with, I'd go to 10 pawn shops in a day. I'd come home with 100 video games, 3 or 4 meters, couple iPods, couple things, but again, the cash outlay, I was spending $400, $500, $600 in one shot, $1,000. I'd come home after spending, $1,000, $1,500, and that would be all I would spend for a couple days, because we'd have to pack it all up, get it sent in, or get it listed for FBM, whatever we were doing, and then wait for those sales to start rolling in. So something to keep in mind, the money that it takes. Now, it can be done thrifting. I know somebody who does Amazon with just thrifted goods. They have a whole list of things they're looking for, toys, games, electronics. They find them and they ship them in, and they're small. They do a couple thousand a month, but they still make some money on Amazon. So, Jonathan, if you found a supplier, just ask them for the invoice. They're probably more than willing to help you. What is up, Nevermore Antiques and Forever Genuine? I see both of y'all in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Selling vintage vinyl. So that is a question for Jamie Pace, who is not here. I am not familiar with vintage vinyl. I have heard that they are blocked, and I've heard that they're open. I don't sell vinyl. Connie said she did not have any problem getting ungated and closed shoes and accessories. Connie, shoot me an email, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. I am ungated in some of those, but I'm having an issue with one or two that's giving me a problem, and I kind of want to ask a question since you have some experience. Eric in Ohio, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You provide great news and information regarding reselling. You should be a reporter for real. Reporter, journalism. That's an interesting career. I don't know if I could do that. Like TV, live TV wouldn't bother me. Live doesn't bother me at all, but I don't know. That's an interesting job. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the suggestion, and it's maybe something I will look into. I appreciate that comment, that compliment too. That's awesome. Can you just buy a popular brand from the original manufacturer, show the receipt, and get it ungated as a new seller? It's not always that easy. Like if you were to go to apple.com and order, well, they're exclusive. Let's say you went to fisherprice.com and ordered a Thomas the Train engine toy that you're trying to get ungated for, and sent the receipt. They probably wouldn't, because you have to be like a licensed distributor. Absolutely. Names are not my best forte. An Armani trench coat with a crooked label. I would recommend posting that in my big group. It's probably fake if it doesn't look right. Yeah, Paul, agreed. Absolutely agree. I met him in person. 100% agree. Vinyls are mostly ungated. That's what I thought. Most people have told me. Casey, the Rockstar Reporter. Man, I don't know if I could do it. Don't know. How about vintage clothing? Not in most cases. Vintage clothing will not typically be open. Just shattered my thoughts of joining. Oh, no. It might work. Not sure. What did Heather ask? I just saw a question from Heather. I should look up video on what sells FBA used. That's super interesting to learn. Yeah, there's a lot of FBA used stuff. Galaxy Megs, thank you so much. There was one, private label, the thing that people ask the most about. Private label, what is it and how does it work? So I'm going to use one of these as a perfect example. So let's say you decided you're going to sell a private label product. Private label product means you're going to buy it generically. You're going to, in most cases, order it from an overseas source, which is typical, in bulk, and you're going to slap your own name on it. You're going to come up with a name for your company, and you're going to slap that name on that item. And so let's say you decided to sell your own shot glass. This is probably the worst private label example ever because you would never do this. But You would buy plain, clear shot glasses from a supplier in China. Let's say he's like, hey, if you buy 100 of these, I'll give them to you for $1 a piece. You're like, sweet, I'll take 100 of them right now. And so the 100 of them show up to you, you pay the shipping to get them in, and you come up with the name Casey's Liquor. And so you go get some graphics guy or some stickers or whatever, and you slap your trademarked name, whatever, on this, okay? So now you've got Casey's shot glasses, and you are like, man, people are going to pay me $20 for these. Awesome. So you're going to take one of these up, you're going to wrap it up, bubble it, stick it in its little box or its little envelope. You're going to pack all 100 of these things up. You're going to go on Amazon. Since this doesn't exist on Amazon, it didn't exist until 5 seconds ago. You are going to buy, now you have to buy it through a reputable source. There are several ways to do it, but you have to buy a UPC, an identifier number. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'll assign you one that's never been used, and you have to. That's why you have to get one that's never been used. And so you are going to take that identifier number and you will print out 100 of them because these are all identical shot glass. You're going to print out 100 of that same number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're going to slap it on each one of the packages, not on the item, on the package once this is inside. That is now the identifier UPC that is identified with this product. That's also how you list it. Once you list the item, you'll use that UPC to list your new item into Amazon's catalog. My video will show you how to add the item to the catalog once you have a UPC. Amazon will give you an ASIN that you are then going boop, with that scannable code whoop, right on there, and you'll ship it into FBA. And that is how it works. Now, if you were to get 100 more of these in pink, you would need a different UPC number because it's no longer 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 5 for the pink one. And if you got a green one, it would be 1, 2, 3, 6. And a yellow one, 1, 2, 3, 7. Now, if you bought 100 of each color, you would print out 100, 1, 2, 3, 4s, 100, 1, 2, 3, 5s, 100, 1, 2, 3, 6s. That doesn't change. For every single green one that's the same, it gets 1, 2, 3, 6, 100 times. But you need one UPC for that. So hopefully that makes sense to everyone. Casey's Liquor. What? Oh, good Lord. Is there a minimum amount of items you can send for FBA? No, you can send in one item if you want. Yeah, you're not supposed to buy eBay UPCs on eBay, although I used to do it. Speedy Labels, Paul, Speedy Labels, or Speedy UPCs is the one that is really, really reputable. Super cheap, too. Not as cheap as eBay, but almost as cheap. Speedy UPCs. Yeah, Joel, that's correct. You can submit a exemption, but typically it's just easier to go that way. Yeah, Wayne also had a great comment about getting ungated. Sometimes it's not just the invoice. You have to have a letter of permission. So that's true as well. Oh, you, Mike, thank you so much. I will definitely help you out. If you have any questions, you guys have my emails. I will give you priority help. I will keep doing Amazon videos for sure. What's up, Noel? What is up? What is up? Can't wait to see everybody in eBay Open. We are talking about Amazon, but hopefully you guys got tickets to eBay Open. If you didn't, eBay Open is sold out. Make sure you get on the wait list. Please get on the wait list. I would love to meet all of you. If you need the course, there it is again. Also, if you guys ever want some entertainment, I know most of you don't know this, and please don't judge this channel based on anything else that I do, but I did create another channel with some amusement. Take it with a grain of salt. It's just a channel where I just film people that just blatantly park illegally around town. Mainly in front of the post office. I got the idea because I go to the post office all the time. I didn't used to. I had pickups. I need to get pickups again, but maybe not after this. But so I started going to the post office again, and every time I'd go to the post office, there's like this little walkway into the door, and it's an emergency fire lane, and people literally, they'll pull like their F-450 up and block the walk up to the post office in the fire lane in front of the no parking sign. I was like, you got to be kidding me, right? And so every day I'd be like, dude, like, why are you parked there? Like, I can't even walk in the post office because you're blocking the way. And then I just saw that like every day there was like 50 cars parked all the way along it. So I just started filming it, and it got funny videos. And somebody's like, you should post that and see what people think. And so I posted quite a few of them. Please don't judge this channel on that. It's just a little bit of fun. But it's amusing to see the entitlement. Feel free to go check it out. Sales rank. Yeah. Sales rank on Amazon. What is sales rank? Okay, so every category on Amazon has a sales rank for the category and a sub-sales rank for each section of the category. So let me give you an example. We'll stick with my video game example, and this goes for any category. I'll do another one in a minute. So the video games as a category. I don't know the number exactly. It's in the high tens of thousands. Let's say there's 50,000 video games listed on Amazon. So if your video game was the 49,900 best-selling video game, that's terrible. It's all the way at the bottom of the list, right? There's only like 100 games that don't sell faster than it. So that would be a really bad ranking in the video game ranking because there's only 50,000 and yours is only 49,900 whatever. If your ranking was 100, well, that's really good. It's in the top 100 of all video games. That's excellent. So then they have subcategories like video games, RPGs. And so let's say out of the 50,000 video game RPGs are 1,000. There's 1,000 RPG games, and I'm just throwing numbers out there. But okay, so out of those 1,000, in the total category of 50,000, if your video game was 995, well, that's a great sales rank in the entire video game category, right? Because 990 whatever out of 50,000 is pretty good. But in the 1,000 RPGs, if yours was number 990, that probably wouldn't be so good because it's at the end of the RPGs. Now, being that it's, only 990 out of 50,000, you kind of have to look at the main rank and the sub rank and try to get a feel for how quickly that game will sell. Now, the rank doesn't have anything to do with the price. It has to do with the sell-through rate, how quickly, the supply and demand. And it doesn't mean that the item won't sell. It just means that it might take a little bit longer. You may be sitting on it. If you buy an item for $1 that's worth 200, but it has a terrible rank, you're going to be sitting on it for a while. Hey, that's great. I'll spend $1. Send it in, and if it takes 6 months to sell for 200, so be it. But if I'm buying an item for $2 or $3 and it's worth 15 or 20 and the ranking is terrible, well, I don't want to be sitting on an item to make $8 forever. I want it to have a good ranking. So you'll decide how much you're willing to spend, how much you're willing to buy based on ranking. Now, if you go to like a book ranking and the books have like 2 million and your book ranks 50,000, that's really good. In video games, that's bad if it was a 50,000 video. But in books, that's a great ranking. So you have to learn the categories you're selling in and what becomes a good ranking. There's a few websites, and I go over them in the training class as well. So there's always ways to learn. How do you know if an item is gated before you list it? So that's a great question. So you can do it two ways. You can do it on the website. You'll bring the item up, and then there's a button when you're in your Seller Central to add a product. You'll click Add Product, and then you'll search that item out either by the name or the ASIN. And when the item pops up and you click Sell this item or Sell Similar, because that's what they basically give you, it's going to say you're restricted. Now, sometimes items are restricted like, hey, I love that you're selling these chargers. You can't sell them new, but you can sell all the used ones you want. So they'll let you sell them used, but not new. Sometimes vice versa. You can't sell them new. They have to be, or you can't sell them used. They have to be new, or we won't let you sell them. So that's how Amazon works as far as like gating and ungating. And you can look that up. The second way is on your app. If you scan an item, it's going to tell you right off the top whether you can, I don't have anything close to me to scan. I can manually do it. I'll manually add one that I know is gated, and I'll show you what it looks like. Like I know that Pokemon Ruby should be pretty much gated. They gated everyone in that. Okay, so when you search for it, here, I'm going to show you guys. That's Pokemon Ruby. Let me zoom in and zoom out on it. See what it says? So you cannot sell that particular product. Restricted. Completely restricted. Can't sell it at all. Doesn't matter what it's worth. You cannot sell this product in new condition. So if I click on that, this shows me all the conditions I cannot sell it in. See that? New, used, collectible, and refurbished, which is all the conditions. Can't sell Pokemon Ruby at all. And I used to sell those all the time. Never had a return on it. Never had a inauthentic claim. Never sold a fake one. I knew how to tell the real Pokemon versus the fake Pokemon. Go figure. We're trying to figure out real and fake Burberry shirts versus real and fake Pokemon games. Give me a break, guys. Come on. Okay. How do you know if it, yeah. If you're in the Vegas area, certainly come to Mandalay and say hi to us. Karen, email me or shoot me a Facebook message and keep in touch with me, especially when I get to eBay Open. That way you can hang out. Yeah. So let's see what else we got here. Your Amazon account has resale value if you're ungated for Nike. Yeah, my buddy is ungated for Nike. Yeah, you just saw. Yeah, that's just a look at the seller app. So I'll show you guys. Give me a second. I'll show you some more of the seller app. Hang on. Give me 1 second here. So like on the seller app, you can see it like keeps track of your inventory, in stock, out of stock. You can sort and filter it. You guys can see video game systems, video game controllers and accessories, wireless plugs, power plugs. I sell all that stuff. You guys can see I used to sell Apple products. There's one right there. It's inactive. And it's inactive forever. Can't put it back in stock. So yeah, I mean, I've sold anything and everything electronics on Amazon, you name it. So, yeah. Hopefully that covers the basics of Amazon. That'll get you guys going. If you want to dive in, you want to go deep, I tried really hard to include everything I could in the videos. It's comprehensive. It's everything from starting an account, pro versus personal, the listing, the shipping, the FBA. If you need help, you can email and message me. I was just doing the totals. I started, really, I didn't sell anything in 14 and 15, 16, 17, and 18 without counting 2019. We've done probably north of $700,000 on Amazon. So you're talking about in 48 months, not millions of dollars by any means, but you're talking about a 14,000. That may have included these last 3 months that did include. So actually 51 months. So I think we're over 700. I'd have to check. I know we're over 680, 690,000. So that's a $13,000 average. There were months that we were doing $20,000 a month on Amazon, 25,000 for months and months and months and months. That sounds like a lot, but remember when I was selling iPods and video game systems and CD decks and head units for cars, my average sale price outside of the video games were around $20. But outside of the video games, my average sale price was like $95. So I had an overall average sale price easily cruising $50. So to sell $20,000 in a month was only requiring 400 items. You're only talking about between FBA and FBM, 13 items a day. Yeah, I mean, there were days we were shipping 25, 30 items. We'd ship 20 video games out of FBA, and I would keep the systems here. We'd be shipping like a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation 3, a Sega Genesis, some bundles, a couple remote controls, 1 or 2 iPods, and that would be like $2,000. You're talking about $150 iPod, $150 PlayStation 4, a couple $100 in controllers and accessories, and then, $500, $600, $700 going out of this door, and then 20 video games at $20 a piece going out of that door. You're talking about another $400. $1,000 days were every day just about for us. Some days were $1,500 and $2,000. So it wasn't that bad. Net was 10 to 15%. Yeah, Paul, honestly, back then, it was probably about 20. It was probably about 20%. We were doing anywhere from 5,000 in profit. I mean, 5,000 was normal, 6,000 months. I mean, your profit margin percentages on that stuff are lower, but it was easy to make 5,000 or 6,000. There were months I remember doing 8,000 and 9,000 in profit and being like, woo. But it was definitely 20%. Sometimes it would be 25%. Just depends. Yeah, better off holding items to ship to FBA. That's true. If Amazon damages or loses one of your FBA items, do you get paid for it? Full price, how does that work? Okay, great question. I'm glad someone asked that. If Amazon damages or loses your inventory, so you do need to keep an eye on that because they don't keep an eye on it like you should. Sometimes they will pay you, like voluntarily right away. They damaged your video game, it got crushed, it snapped the disc, $20, whoop, right into your account. Sometimes they don't say anything. Trust me, I have caught it where I'm like, hey, we had 5 Grand Theft Auto 5s in stock, and we sold 4 of them, and so we have 1 left, but inventory is showing 0. And so I'll go to them and I'll say, hey, look, guys, you scanned 5 Grand Theft Autos into scanner. Here's 4 orders. Feel free to pull my orders. Where's the 5th one? And they're like, yeah, it turns out that one got broke. I'm like, hey, so can I get that $20? And so close eye on it. It wasn't that often. I mean, here and there. But I had a friend a few years back who sold accessories of a sort. He was selling 200-300 of each item a day. And so he was selling 10,000 items a month, and they were losing and damaging like 100 items a month. And so at the end of the year, they had like 1,200 items. They owed him $15,000. Yeah. Yeah, Donna, the CD cleaning machine, I was shipping so many video games. We were cleaning 20, 30 games a day. Every day I'd come home, we'd clean all these games, we'd box them up, we'd clean some more games, box them up, clean some more games, box them up, and then send it into Amazon. We were shipping twice a week, either to Amazon or stocking on my shelves. You guys probably remember, I doubt I have the photos, but at one point before we shipped away, I bought out like 4 pawn shops at once. These used to be on my Instagram if you deep dive my Instagram, but we shipped out so many video games to Amazon one week that they were receiving video games till the end of time. We were waiting for those to update. I think we had 2,800 video games in stock. Like I said, we were dumping video. I was emptying pawn shops of video games. Now it's impossible because they charge entirely too much money for their video games. But I can show you guys some of the pictures. I mean, we were selling iPods like nobody's business. Those were all iPods and video game systems that we had in stock. And so we had some more. I mean, this was back in the day. This is the heyday. You guys have probably seen this picture. We would have 50 video game systems in stock, and we'd sell 10 of these a day. 8, 10, 12 of these a day. Easily. We had stuff like that packaged, ready to go. That's like a prepackaged iPod. So we'd have 20, 30 of those. I was trying to find you guys the pictures of the shelving unit I had with the video games on it, where we had probably, I don't know. And I mean, we were buying a couple pallets here and there also too. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. I don't believe I have those pictures in my phone anymore. It's been a long time. I'll have to post them on social media if I find them again. But, oh, here you go. Here's a couple of them. Yeah. So this was at home. These were some of the ones that we had in stock at home. There was probably a solid 200, 300 games on that one shelf. You guys can see that. And then we had, here you go, side by side. Look, these were games either ready to go to FBA, ready to be cleaned, or that we were keeping. Like, that's how many video games we had to go out at any one time. So pretty crazy the stock that we had. It was nuts. So, yep. Broken we sold on eBay. Good we sold on Amazon. Yep, just a couple more minutes we'll be on, and then I'm going to head out of here. Why did you stop selling all that? What happened? Two things happened. So all of the Apple got blocked on Amazon. That was recently, but they started gating them a while back. A lot of video games started getting gated, and all my pawn shops started getting super greedy. So I had deals. I didn't necessarily have deals, but I could go in there and they you know, hey, I'm going to grab these 20 games. It looks like, you know, $3, $2, $4, $3. Looks like it's going to cost me about $80, $90. Tell you what, I'll give you 60 for everything. They'd be like, sweet, $60, take it all. Because they were paying 50 cents and a buck for a game. So they were like, all right, well, we're going to do it for 20, 25. You take it all for 60. Get it out of here. They weren't really worried about the video games. And then they got greedy and started upping the prices, which was annoying, but I still made money, but my stock went down. Then on top of that, I couldn't buy as much. And then The gating happened, so that reduced what I could buy. Everything started going downhill. Then they started saying, we don't want you in here buying our video games because we need to have video games in here in order to lure people in to buy video game systems. Because I never bought their video game systems because they always wanted too much money. My video game systems came from garage sales, Craigslist, things like that. And so it was hard to buy video game systems at the pawn shops anymore. And then when they started wanting to bundle all the games with the systems, it made it almost impossible. Immediately wiped out. Every one of the pawn shops around here is corporate. There's a very few mom and pops. And so those two big companies, one's called Value Pawn and one's called Cash America, both started bundling. Wham! I was wiped out of video games. The Apple products were downhill. The gating was killing me. There was just no stock. And so that's when I started looking for another avenue, and I found the clothing, which I regret. Clothing is great, and don't get me wrong. It's a great market. It's a great place to start. But the electronics and the video games were fun. I loved them. The money was it was not as good a profit margins. But it took no time, and I highly underestimated the amount of time that clothing and shoes took to list. So the offer to watchers should be available soon. Is there a monthly membership on Amazon? I want to start off slow. Should I pay for a membership? There is. It's a $40 unlimited, but you can have a personal account. It just costs $1 each. Rewatch this video. I think you'll learn a lot. And you can start with the extra $1 per item in a personal account. You don't have to start off with the $40 and get your feet wet and learn. I highly, highly recommend that you guys consider, if it's something that you want to do, that you're going to put the time into. The $49 Amazon course is well worth it. What you're going to learn in that video will teach you to sell something to make $49. If you can't take an Amazon account in 30 days and make $49 in profit, because I help you start that account and I help you get off the ground floor. If I can't show you how to make $49 in profit, it either means you didn't do the work or we got a real problem. I got a real problem, because I can take anybody in any city, anywhere, if I was standing right next to you or with you for a day or 2 days or 3 days or a week, a month for sure, and teach you how to buy and sell something that will make $49 in profit, or two somethings or three somethings. $49 in profit. The Bolos alone are worth that. They're good for eBay, Amazon, and Posh. You're going to get all of those to go along with it. I just linked it in the chat. So consider it. Think about it. Email me, message me with any questions if you need to know more about it. rockstarflipper@gmail.com. I'll be happy to help you out and answer those questions. But really, Amazon is they're the beast. They're the giant of the e-commerce world. So I'll leave you with that thought. And I appreciate each and every one of you who joined me tonight on the live show. Thanks so much. As always, click that link. Take a chance on yourself. Take a chance on making more money. And hit the like button before you roll out of this video. I appreciate all the likes. Appreciate you guys taking care of that. I'm also going to leave my little fun, entertaining videos in the chat. If you want to check it out and have a good laugh, please do that. There's 6 or 7 videos on there. So thanks, guys. As always, I'm going to kill these lights, kill this. I've got a lot of work to do. Join me on Amazon. Let's sell some stuff on Amazon, make some money. And I'll be available to you all night, rockstarflipper@gmail.com, if you have questions. And until next time, until next Thursday, thank you guys a million times over. Thanks to all my admins, Adam and Megan and everybody else, Justin, and thanks for all the great questions. So if you missed anything, rewatch the video and you'll learn a lot. So good night, guys. I'll see you again.